Hey y'all, welcome to H3P, Be Healthy, Happy, and Holistic, period. And it is yours truly, the coaching queen, the founder of H3P. I am a licensed therapist and a life coach, and I teach women on how to create healthy and happy boundaries and to have a healthy and happy life and to build self-esteem while also doing so. So, not only is today the launch of H3P, woo, 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 but it is also my birthday. Okay, so I am so excited to launch my podcast and celebrate my birthday. My birthday is on the 8th day of the 3rd month. And if you a church girl like me, you already know what it is. 8 means new beginnings. And so I truly believe that this is a God thing. So, just to get started, just a disclaimer for everybody who does not know. 1, I talk with my hands. 2, sometimes I talk fast. Sometimes I might loop around, but I always bring it back. And 3, we's about to get lit. Okay, I like to tell the truth. I'm a truth bearer. God made me that way. I don't know what to do about it except just be me. And I encourage you just to be you. All right. So as a New Yorker, I'm going to give it to you straight. All right. Life is crazy. Okay. There are a lot of things going on. And although we may have God to help us and to give us strength to go through, life still is lifing, right? And so as a life coach, I encourage women to practice self-care as life stays lifing. Okay. So if you do not practice self-care, it's okay, girl. I got you. I'm here. I'm going to help you. But first, we have to talk about what self-care is, why it's important, and then how you can get started. So for one, self-care is any type of healthy practice that you utilize to fill your tank back up. It is anything or any ways or means that allows you to feel your best, look your best, and basically walk through life at your best, okay? Some examples really quick are you going to exercise, you eating healthy, and you basically having a clear and conscious mind about who you are in this world so you can live it out authentically and as bold as possible as you can. All right, so self-care again is any practice that you use to revitalize, to build yourself back up, to basically let out anything negative and bring in the positive so you can think, feel, and live healthy as you should. All right. If you don't know, God has created you to steward many things in this life, whether you're a wife, you have children, you're a mom, or whether you're a boss chick like your girl. Listen, I'm still working on it, okay? Just bear with me. But whatever it is that you've been given or that has been placed in your hands requires you to be fully prepared and fully ready to go, all right? What happens though in life is some things come to distract us, some things come to pull and to take from us, or some things just might drain us. And so there are practical means and practical ways and spiritual means and spiritual ways in which you can fill your tank. Hence why self-care is so important. So before we really get deep in there, I have a couple of questions for you. All right, you ready? Question number 1 is, can you pour from an empty cup? I can hear the Jeopardy music in the background. And I want you to really take a second and think about it. Can you pour from an empty cup? Now, think about it. You're in your kitchen, you have a pitcher, and there's water. It's full of water to the brim, to the top. But you know you got 3 kids who throughout the day are going to want to drink from the pitcher. They're going to want to drink some water. And so a little goes out in one cup, a little goes out in another cup, and a little goes out in another cup. And soon by the end of the day, that pitcher is empty. So what is left for tomorrow? What is left for you? Your kids came and drank all the water. What is there left for when you're thirsty or for when you need to go do something, whether it's to water the plants or give someone else the water that they desire or need? But there's nothing in the pitcher, right? Normally, what we would do is go and fill the pitcher back up with some more water. Okay. And I find as a life coach and a licensed therapist that there are a lot of people who are holding pitchers in their hand, ready and wanting to pour, but there's nothing in there. And they wonder why they're experiencing burnout. And they wonder why their mind is not clear. And they wonder why they're so tired. And no matter how many hours they sleep at night, they still do not feel well rested. There are so many people in this world on the go, running, 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 but truly have nothing left to pour for themselves. And I know society has taught us women especially that to want anything for yourself is selfish. But I've come today to let you know, honey, they lie. Okay? They lie to you. We're debunking that. Okay? They're gaslighting you. They're telling you all sorts of lies because those are the type of people that want to continue to take. And if you have a little bit of something for you, they want to call you selfish. No, sweetheart. You need a little something for you so you can be a better someone for them. Okay? So, first question down. Another thing before I go to question number 2 is think about a car. Okay. For me, my goal car is a Mercedes Benz, honey. It's a 4x4. It's something because I plan on having kids one day. She ain't got them yet, but she will. Okay. I want to be able to go on a vacation and load that thing up. Okay. I can't do a little car. I'm done with the little cars. I need me a big car. Okay. So when I get my car, and we're going to talk about who gets in the car, but that'll be another day. I know in order for me to go to point A to point B, I know in order for me to complete a mission, I know in order for me to go somewhere in life in my car, my gas tank has to be full. Okay? So I really want you to let that percolate. My gas tank has to have gas. This vessel has to have something to run on. This vessel has to have something to run on. And if I'm doing, and I'm not just talking about God assignments of where we need something, we have to have our tank full to complete what God has given to us. But there are sometimes we give ourselves assignments that God ain't gave us, but we're doing and we're going and we're running. Tell me, how can your car get from point A to point B with no gas in the tank? Really? The math ain't mathing, okay? You cannot go from here to there with nothing in the tank. I want you to think about your body, to think about your spirit, to think about your mind. I want you to realize that you cannot get from point A to point B without anything in the tank. Now, I know you think you can, but even with that mindset, it's just not logical. It's not practical. So, honey, you need time to practice self-care. You need time to fill your tank back up. Okay? You need to have those things that truly make you feel good about you, make you feel full so that you can run as you should. All right? So, my next question is, my second question is, I want you to ask yourself, would God want you drained, worn out, beat up, and tired? Okay? Would God approve? Okay, I know man wants you to run so you can do. And sometimes we as individuals, me included, run because there's some type of validation in being able to accomplish things, or we get that hormonal high when we complete things, or some people are competitive. I know like men have high levels of wanting to compete because of testosterone. But whatever it is, in your running, there has to be a time where you have rest. So would God approve of you not resting? Would God be okay with you being drained, worn out, beat up, and having an empty tank? Now, for those of you who truly reverence God and truly believe in his word, you already know what the answer is. The answer is no, okay? Because once again, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot be a true vessel for Christ and not be filled up with his word. You cannot be a true vessel of Christ and not be filled up with his love, his compassion, the ability to show and extend grace. You cannot be running on an empty cup as a leader wherever you're practicing your leadership in the church, outside of the church, which I believe the best real leadership is very much so outside of the church. But whatever it is, in media and whatever, you have to have what you need to have to do what you need to do. So logically, practically, the math is mathing when you decide to make sure you're not going against God's will for you to rest. Third question is, did God rest? Okay, so if you're still struggling with that, because I know you got something still, some strongholds, okay? They have bound you up, honey, and believe in, no, you got to work, okay? Now, I'm not talking about Rihanna. I'm talking about in the church, okay? They will work you to death if they can, okay? But that's not God's will. That's man-made, okay? Because if I read my Bible correctly in Genesis, it said that even God himself, not you, because you're not God himself took a day to chillax, okay? You too need a day. Now, we could talk about boundaries and why you've decided to work yourself like a crazy horse, but that's another podcast day, okay? But once again, God did his work. He said it is good, and he rested. All right. So listen, remember that when you decide to try to run a marathon and then realize that you're not ready for that. Okay. So my next question is, I actually have one more. What are the ways that you take care of yourself? Okay, I want you to really think about these things. And if you got to run it back, go ahead and run it back. Write down these questions. Remind yourself for the next time somebody calls up your phone asking for a favor, that it's okay to say, not today. I'm resting. I'm going for a walk. we don't do yoga and holiness, but I'm going to do other things that fill my cup back up. Okay. Yeah. Do you practice those things? Do you say at the new year, oh, I'm going to start exercising. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to start journaling. I'm going to start going to bed early so I could get my 8 hours instead of the 4 I'm getting. Okay. Do you actually practice self-care? Because you could think you sitting down and Netflixing and chilling with Bay and them is self-care. And maybe it could be. I'm not going to hold you. Sometimes it can be a good hug, okay, from your significant other actually boost your hormones. But having Netflixing for hours upon hours, series after series, which can happen so easily, that is not practicing self-care. Okay. They call it couch rotting, actually. But practicing self-care has to be through healthy means. Shopping, going on a shopping spree, that's very debatable for many people. Once again, that could boost your hormone, but it's temporary, right? You can't go shopping and spending all this money every week because, honey, when you get that credit card bill, you're not going to be too happy. So I'll say nix that. That is not a way to practice self-care. That is long lasting. So healthy eating, going on retreats or exercising daily and regularly, being around people who matter the most to you are some ways to practice, just in case you're wondering what's unhealthy and what's not healthy. And of course, in the future, I'll have some other videos where I break down even deeper healthy ways to practice versus unhealthy ways. All right. So now that you've gotten that written down, I want to give you a couple of scriptures that backs up my claim. Okay, so 3 John 1 and 2 says, behold, I pray that you may prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. And so many people do not realize the difference between your mind, body, and soul and your spirit. Okay, so like God says that we were made in his image, right? He's a triune being. There's God the Father, God the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Now, you may not be a saint. Maybe you're an ain't, but that's okay. I'm here to teach you. I'm here to coach you. All right. You can also book a one-on-one session with me at esteemico.com. All right. And I'll give you a free consultation for your first time. But God is a 3-part being, but it's only one. He's only one God. Just like we have one body, but there are multiple parts to us. So you have your mind. That's your thoughts. That's your emotions. That's the things that you feel about a certain situation, and then all your thoughts and these intrusive thoughts start to occur. You have your body. This is the temple. This is the vessel, right? And then you have your spiritual side as well. So for women, it's that knowing. It's that they say women's intuition, but really it's Holy Spirit. It's that spirit, that third part of you that says whether something is good or something is bad. Okay, so he says, I want your soul to prosper. Now, I hear this all the time in the church, but I never really hear a clear breaking down of this in a therapeutic as well as spiritual way. So your soul is your mind, your will, your emotions, it's your thoughts, right? God is saying, I want your soul to prosper. He didn't say I want you to be on the third level of your spiritual being. He said your soul. That means your mind, how you think, how you feel. And a lot of times, especially in the Black community, we're anti-therapy. We're anti-life coaching. We're anti going outside of the four walls. And it's very unfortunate. If I were to be candid, I think it's a lie from the pits of hell because honestly, the devil just wants you to stay bound and not get the help that you want. Not everything's a demon. Okay, that wasn't in my notes, but I just said it. Certain things, it's a chemical imbalance, and certain things, it's just trauma. You went through something so hard in your life, whether it was abandonment issues, your father not being there, your mom not being there, you being violated, or, other things. So many things could happen, but it affects how your mind works, how you see the world, and how you see yourself. So God is saying, I want your soul to prosper. And prosperity is about abundance. Okay. And I know, people go back and forth with what prospering really means, but the holistic term of prosperity literally means every area of your life is doing well. Okay, you're doing well, you're thriving, there's abundance. There's what I love to talk about, the wells that can spring up on the inside of you. You're just a walking billboard of joy. Okay, and God's joy, because the Bible says that the world can't give you joy. Only God's joy is long lasting, even through trials and tribulation. So in 3 John 1 and 2, beloved, he calls you beloved, or some say beloved. My daughter, I pray that you prosper and be in good health. That means I want your body to be well. I want you to prosper in your body and your soul. Okay. In Jeremiah 30 and 17, for I will restore health to you and heal you of your wounds. God knew you were going to go through that divorce. God knew you were going to go through that pain. God knew you were going to experience tragedy at times, but he's saying, I want you to be healed and I want to heal you. Yes, spiritually, we can pray, we can read the word and find supernatural healing in God's presence, but God has created many avenues of healing. We as people in general need to understand that there's not only one way of doing something. The only one way that there is to get to heaven is through God, through the Son, right? But there are so many other ways to receive healing and to receive your prosperity. That's going and seeing a doctor. That's once again through prayer, through the word. That's getting wise counsel. That's seeing a therapist, and that's getting a life coach. There are so many avenues. So, beloved, let's prosper. Let our soul prosper. Let's be in good health, and let's allow God to heal our wounds through the many avenues he has provided. All right. 1 Corinthians 6 and 19 says, do you not know that your body is the temple for Holy Spirit? Do you not know that you are a vessel for what God has given you? Do you not know that God calls you not only beloved, but he calls you a steward of the things and the gifts he has given you? So why are you not stewarding your body well, sis? And this may not be for everybody, but why are you letting them people? Why, sis? Are you, hold on. You know that commercial that says be nice, and she go, I'm trying to find it. Why are you letting Pookie and them blow up your phone when you know they have nothing to offer you? Okay? They may have something to take, but they have nothing to offer. And at the end of the day, you still feel empty. Okay, you need to block Pookie and them. Okay, and whether it's your mama, whether it's your daddy, your cousin, or your so-called best friend, if they're not good for you, if they're taking, if there's no reciprocity, if your job is stressing you out so much that you're having panic attacks and anxiety attacks, that is not the will of God. That's not what he wants for you. And so you have to steward your life, this body, and your mind according to God's will. And you must do it well. All right, I'm not trying to come for your neck, but I'm just saying. Okay, listen, I'm just saying. All right. Some other good godly examples of practicing self-care and who done it. Okay, Jesus himself practiced self-care. Did you know that? Yes, he did. He rested. He went and talked to the Father constantly. There were times where he was sad. He experienced great sorrow to the point that he was literally sweating blood. Okay, can you imagine? Think of the worst day you ever had in your life and you still didn't sweat blood. Okay? Like, come on. Not only him, but also God's manservant, prophet Elijah, he went and rested, and God sent the dirty birds. Okay, God will send you some people who you would count out to come and speak a word to you, to feed you, to give you things, to help you. God will create a brook, some water in the desert. God created water in a desert for his manservant who only was doing what he was told to do. And he had some haters called Jezebel and Ahab after his neck. Jezebel gave him a demonic prophecy talking about, I'm going to kill you. And Elijah, even though he was a powerful, wonderful man of God, got stressed out. Okay, so don't feel bad about feeling stress or feeling anxiety. It's natural. It's a part of life. But make sure you do like this man of God did and go somewhere, take a nap, drink some water, get you something to eat, and then go do what God told you to do, right? And if you go in the Bible, it says God actually sent an angel to wake him up and say, okay, you've rested well enough, now get back to work. And after that, he had great strength. And after that, he was able to run faster than a horse. Okay, so listen, we're going to do what these great men in the Bible did as well, and that is rest. Some of you, I want to also say on the spiritual part of self-care, once again, there are going to be other videos where I break down each part of different self-care practices. But spiritually, a lot of us need to practice going to God first. Okay, that might be your self-care practice that you need to start with. We're making decisions on our own without the help or knowing the will of God. And then we're getting ourselves into situations that exhaust us. And then we look up at God like, God, how could you let that happen? It's so funny. How could you let that happen? And God is like, don't do that. Don't put that on me. Okay, sis, ask God first. Should I marry that man, or is he gonna stress me out forever? Should I go take that job? God, what do you think? You know the end from the very beginning. And there are going to be things that God gives you to do. And yes, you'll still feel some kind of way. You might be tired, but God will give you the grace and the strength and the ability to carry it out with great power, with strength, and to complete the task as a good steward. All right. So with that being said, here are some signs that you need to practice self-care. 1, you're experiencing high levels of exhaustion. That means no matter how much you sleep, no matter how long you sit on that couch, no matter what, you just feel like you are exhausted. Your mind is cloudy. You're unable to think straight. And also another sign is you're very irritable. Okay, most likely you just need a break, sis. You need to call up one of your girlfriends. You need to go sit on somebody's beach somewhere. Okay, breathe in that air, listen to the seagulls, practice mindfulness, and get on another level with peace. Okay. Another example, other than being irritable, feeling utterly exhausted, is when you're trying to do work and you just can't hit that goal like you're used to. Okay. Most likely your tank is empty. That creativity level is not there like it normally is. Most likely you need to go take a break. All right. And lastly, I'll say your sleep is off. Your sleep is off and you know you sleep well. Something is going on and you need to get to the bottom of it, and you need to go take a moment for yourself and practice self-care. I hope that worked for y'all. Make sure you follow H3P on every single platform: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, definitely YouTube. Subscribe, and I pray that you are healthy, happy, and holistic, period. I love y'all, the Coaching Queen. Hey guys, this is the Coaching Queen here at H3P, where we believe in being healthy, happy, and holistic. I just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Thrive Gemini, where they believe in teaching women on how to pick and choose the right foods that work for them. Of course, we know that there's so many pesticides and different things in food now that are harming our body, but Alyssa S., the owner of Thrive Gemini, is a health and wellness coach that works with foods and helps women pick the right food for their body. Make sure you go and check out Thrive Gemini on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and go support and book your consultation today. Thanks, Alyssa. I just want to give a shout out to my sponsor, Daniel Valentine, the premier award-winning photographer along the East Coast, where he does maternity shoots and personal branding. Thank you for supporting H3P. Make sure you go and follow Daniel X Valentine Studios and book a consultation today. Thanks again.